let's have another look at a post on the Eternity site in Korea. So, Final Dance in Eternity. I think some of you might have noticed it as you saw the image. The subject of this development log is the Xanafiedlion, so the final boss of Gen 1 in Albi Dungeon in Chernanag. So, production background, Mabinogi is a project that has grown together with our militians for a very long time. As a game that has been in service for a long time, there have been many big and small changes in Eren. I think the part where you can feel the biggest change is combat. Accordingly, there is a significant difference in battle experience between past boss monsters and new boss monsters. Examples include the Xanafiedlion from Gen 1, Final Chapter, and Myr from the Brelith. So here you can see like the Xanafiedlion, and you can see the other boss that they're talking about. In Eternity, past boss monsters that appeared in the mainstream have been transformed to fit the latest Mabinogi battle grammar. We aim to provide battle content of a quality that will satisfy all militians. And this work began with the first boss monster that militians encounter after arriving in Eren, the Incarnation of Destruction, Xanafiedlion. So there's a cool image of him there. Battle formation. As a boss appearing in the mainstream, Xanafiedlion has many attractive settings. When reimagining the battle of Xanafiedlion in Eternity, the first thing that came to mind was to incorporate these settings into the battle. Xanafiedlion, first encountered in the mainstream, is summoned by Keyhole's plan. So here you can see like a mana ritual and the mana ritual gauge. So the main concept of Eternity Xanafiedlion battle is consciousness suppression. The militians arrived earlier than expected and had to wake the Xanafiedlion in an incomplete state during the ceremony. The militians' first objective is to fight this imperfect Xanafiedlion and stop the mana ritual in progress during the fight. So you want to stop that gauge before it fills up. And it looks like you can see that they're doing something with the gargoyle statues there. So those are actually going to be a part of it now. I tried to incorporate the settings into the background as well. Did you know that Xanafiedlion loves gold? The boss room, which serves as the battle stage, was designed to feel like gold, ore, and a ritual altar. So it looks like this is going to be the boss room. It's completely different now. It doesn't have that square shape anymore. It's more of a circle. And the gargoyle statues actually do something in the boss fight. So that's pretty cool. And they have that interesting design on the floor. And down here you can see the old boss room, what that looks like, the square shape with the gargoyle statues. So this looks a lot better. The gargoyle statues placed in Albi Dungeon boss room also have a role. In Eternity, it is deployed as a device to conduct the rituals and is used as an in-game gimmick. At this point, you will also be able to understand the purpose of the black beads. So yeah, this is what it looks like now, and the gargoyles don't really have a purpose. And this is what the gargoyle statues look like in Eternity. After struggling to stop the mana ritual and fighting the incomplete Xanafiedlion, you will enter Phase 2. Here too, we wanted to provide a new way of having fun in Eternity rather than simply moving the map and changing phases. You remember the beam firing pattern of the Gen 1 Xanafiedlion? So here they show off that move. Oh, and this is what it looks like in Eternity. Wow, that looks way better. After putting Eternity's imperfect Xanafiedlion in danger, it unleashes a powerful beam attack. In order to utilize the existing Xanafiedlion symbol pattern more dramatically in Eternity, I added several dramatic devices to compose the pattern. In this process, the Militians each created a battle flow that allowed them to respond to the patterns in different ways and disrupt them. So it looks like that's sort of like a interaction key, maybe pressing like the space bar, I think it says space, and you can like stop the attack. It's kind of cool. Camera work that blends in with patterns that were not easily attempted in live performances cutscenes that naturally transition to phases after performing gimmicks, etc. We are exploring and trying out various methods to ensure that you can enjoy not only the combat gameplay, but also the visual presentation. I think this visual presentation looks great. This is a big upgrade from this. Like, if you compare these two images, you can clearly see the difference. This looks way more modern and way better. In Phase 2, you will battle Xanafiedlion, the reincarnation of destruction, who has regained his power through a mana ritual. There is a change in appearance as it awakens once to match the concept. In addition to the character mesh of Xanafiedlion, you can see an even more powerful appearance in-game with effects attached to the area around the Xanafiedlion's body. So, Xanafiedlion, the incarnation of destruction, original artwork. This is his original artwork. And then in-game, Xanafiedlion, the incarnation of destruction. So, yeah, this looks pretty cool. There's some amazing artwork here. Personally, I think it was cool when the bandages came off and the mask was torn, revealing what was hidden. Yeah, you can kind of see his eye right there. As he awakened as the incarnation of destruction, Phase 2 will proceed with the concept of burning everything. And they have a cool, like, portrait image here. And you can see all the houses and stuff burning. Seeing most of the fields on fire really gives you a feeling of fighting the very embodiment of destruction. We are also preparing boss patterns that we have not been able to introduce to you so that you can feel the setting of the boss monsters. We will do our best to ensure that you can experience authentic, immersive battles through Eternity, combining Mabinogi's uniquely engaging narrative and combat gameplay. So share your concerns. In addition to new combat content, Eternity is also preparing many combat-related improvements. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Xanafiedlion. Let me first introduce you to a few changes that were first applied to the Battle of Xanafiedlion. First, there is a monster rotation. In Mabinogi, you can see the monsters bouncing around when they change direction. In Eternity, we've improved the way characters rotate directly to a different direction when their movement direction changes, making it look more natural. Okay, so we actually have two videos here. So this is what looks on Pleon Engine right now. Let's take a look at that. And this is what it will look like in Eternity. And that does look a lot better, so this will give you an idea of what to expect. Here, I'll play this one again. Secondly, there is the monster gaze. We also added an expression that guides it to the direction in which the boss is looking. I tried to structure the battles to make them feel more tense and threatening. It would be nice if this boss actually felt like a challenge again, instead of just like one-shotting him, because like that's what most can do. Like most can solo him and take him down in like 1 or 2 hits. In addition to this, we are considering various technical changes that can be incorporated into battles, and we will introduce them when the time comes. These technical changes are definitely something that can be done if possible. I think militians will definitely like it. The biggest concern is the change in planning. The skills shown in the Eternity test demonstration video revealed at the 2025 Summer Fantasy Party, as well as the common evasion skills, can be viewed with similar concerns. The same goes for convenience in battle, such as how about adding a ping system to Mabinogi, or how about a system where skills on a cooldown are shared in the party chat. Among these, the most difficult concern is the direction of the battle. How difficult should Mabinogi's combat content become? Would action-packed battles suit you better, or would a battle focus on cooperative gimmicks be more appropriate? What if we considered the combat designs that allowed for different contributions within a party without fixing the roles of tank, damage, dealer, and healer? Eternity is a project that aims to become a game that can bring together all militians who love Mabinogi. As mentioned above, we are looking back at the fundamental concerns and building up a solid foundation. So yeah, I think they're doing a really good job thinking about everything. I would personally like to see some more challenge in Mabinogi. I feel like a lot of the older dungeons and a lot of the older bosses just really aren't a challenge anymore, and that's kind of a problem. Like, the Glass Scavellin can be taken down solo in like 2 or 3 hits when you first start playing the game, and when you get to him, it's kind of ridiculous. And like the Armored Bear boss in one of the dungeons, like, he actually used to be a challenge 8 or 10 years ago, and now he's not. But this gives you an idea of what to expect for future boss fights in Eternity. Let's take another look at the Korean Eternity site. I need a boss room. A new boss room was revealed during this test. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, I'd like to talk about the process of creating it. Albi Dungeon and boss room with Glass Scavellin. There's the boss up there and the gargoyle statues. This new boss room is conceptually closely related to the Albi Dungeon and Glass Scavellin. So at the design stage, we tried to mix these two things. So you can see the different looks for the boss room that they have planned. It's going to be more round instead of square. It's going to be more of a circle. The overall concept was created by borrowing the gorgeous pillar design of Albi Dungeon, the design of the waterway flowing through the corridor wall, and the unique steel frame design of the boss room where Glass Scavellin appears, and creating a blueprint for what direction would be right. Of course, there were other things to consider besides these concepts. This boss room is divided into 2 phases, and in phase 2 the surrounding area had to collapse and disappear, so the design of the surrounding area had to be arranged with things that could move fluidly. and yet we had to fill in this large space. So it looks like this is probably going to be stage 1 with the gargoyle statues, because there's like a new mechanic for stopping the Xanafiedlion ritual involving the gargoyle statues that's talked about in the other post. So boss room, and entrance zone to go to the boss room. So this is really cool. You can kind of see like this is maybe an average room in an Albi dungeon. So the rooms won't always be square anymore, they can be more circular. And then there's a long hallway, and then like an entrance to a door, and then that leads into the boss room. So this is really cool looking. Although not actually deployed, the background was created to be divided into a maintenance area, a hallway, and re-entry zone. But doesn't the door to the re-entry zone resemble something? So yeah, it does look like the door that you find in Bangor Dungeon when you go to, in Berry Dungeon when you go to Turnanag. As you may have noticed, the door to the re-entry zone was built to have some connection to the door to Turnanag. Through this space you can meet the boss Xanafiedlion. So entrance seen from the front, this looks pretty cool. You can see some broken pillars here, and you can see like the big boss sword with the chains on it. So how should our Xanafiedlion change as he enters this dungeon? As you know, Xanafiedlion has already been reborn and applied in 2 new forms in live performance. The writing had to have a different design from the existing friends. So here we can see 2 images. These look pretty cool. Completed Xanafiedlion on the left and Ultimate Xanafiedlion on the right. I'm guessing this one is the left image and this one's the right. They're not really right next to each other. In this boss room, Xanafiedlion will change in phase 2. Oh, that one looks really cool. You can see how his mask is completely gone. You can see both his eyes. The original drawings for phase 2 of the script that were created in this way are as follows. So it looks like this is what they're going to go with for phase 2. Phase 2 original artwork. This dungeon was only revealed during this test, but you will be able to freely visit it after it opens. Here Militians will encounter the newly renovated Xanafiedlion and experience a new combat experience. So yeah, this looks pretty awesome. They're making a lot of changes to the way the final boss of Gen 1 works. So maybe he'll finally be a challenge again. Let's look at another Korean Eternity post about interactions with NPCs. So, because the live service has been ongoing for so long, it is not easy to consistently and meticulously manage every line of dialogue for so many characters. Sometimes a character's personality or speech pattern has changed over time, even passing through multiple writers. At the time of the update, lines that were consistently recognizable and amusing were now difficult to understand. There are more lines than you might expect that are out of date or contain memes that were popular only during a specific period. Unfortunately, there are some instances where dialogue itself contains errors. I wanted to see a variety of interactions for each keyword pressed, but some characters didn't have as many lines as I expected. If character A reacts to 20 keywords, it's natural to expect 20 reactions from the character B. Some characters have lots of lines, while others only respond to unknown keywords or even randomly output no lines at all for a single word, for a single keyword. It was always disappointing that some characters enjoyed the fun of discovering hidden reactions when certain conditions were met, while others didn't. I still remember the promise I made when I first established Melwyn in Dumbarton. Let's make her feel like a truly living character by adding various reactions based on the events she's experienced in Erin, the passage of time, and the circumstances and conditions of the Militians. I want richer interactions with my favorite and cherished NPCs. But do you know how many permanent NPCs are in Erin? People who welcome us all year round. Yeah, there are a lot of them. You can see that just by looking at the continent of Ulad, there are over 100 permanent NPCs welcoming the Militians. So how many travel journal keywords can we use to talk about one person? Recently, I've been trying to respond to around 30 keywords. Furthermore, I've been able to trigger multiple responses to a single keyword. And you only need to write lines for 100 people and 30 keywords and number of variations. It's not as easy as you think. I remember talking about how difficult it was to write over 100 gift lines during an NDC presentation. While it might be fine if you were writing lines for just 1 or 2 characters, writing lines for 100 characters to respond to the loot keyword eventually leads to limitations. Yeah, I mean, they're basically saying, like, there's so many responses to just one keyword in our journals, and there are lots of keywords, and since we have so many characters, it is a lot more difficult than it looks. Maintaining this daunting task during a live broadcast is even more challenging. Working on everything at once would be physically time-consuming. Dialogue requires meticulous thought and careful consideration, requiring meticulous repeated review. However, it's not possible to assign specific roles to certain individuals while others remain unrelated, because every NPC is someone's most precious and beloved. So yeah, I like how they're making every character, they're trying to make every NPC feel unique or different, so they're not just like copies of each other. Sometimes a line of dialogue is so long that it makes you suffocate, and now there's a chance to end the agony of wanting to just press enter. Above all, I was able to solidify this decision through discussions with fellow developers within the development team. Honestly, I just wanted to have more conversations with all the NPCs. I love the process of enjoying conversations with characters, getting to know the world of Erin better, and naturally blending in. Yeah, I think doing that will make the game feel more alive if each NPC is like unique and has their own thoughts on things. It's very fun to go talking to like NPCs about different topics and like hearing what their opinion is on things. Like, I like to ask NPCs what their opinions are on Dark Knights, if any of them even know anything at all. And it's interesting to get, like, all the different answers for that. So we've decided to completely rewrite all the characters' dialogue. We're enriching it by applying multiple variations to single keywords, ensuring even the most recent characters have the same amount of dialogue as those updated more recently. Beyond just the length, we're also applying common conventions to the overall dialogue text, making each page of dialogue much more readable. But as I was rewriting dialogue, I realized that the keywords in our travel journal also needed to be organized. There are some differences between how keywords are used in the travel journal now and in the past. In the past, keywords were typically obtained briefly during specific quests, used in conversations, and then later retrieved. Due to the structure of the live, it wasn't easy to track where each keyword was acquired and removed. Furthermore, in the past, quests, skills, and hints could only be acquired through these keyword conversations. With the numerous reorganization of growth paths and related content, these keywords are no longer used, but remain in the travel journal. So here you can see what the travel journal will look like in Eternity, and it looks like this is what they're going with for the interface for now. You can see the little menu down here on the UI. In Eternity, we're also renewing all the keywords you can use in conversation. We've redesigned a generous pool of keywords that NPCs respond to, and reorganized them so that pressing those keywords will yield interesting stories from anyone. We've also redesigned the timing for acquiring keywords, ensuring that no keyword can be lost if you miss a certain time. We are also refining the description of characters' appearances, which is unique to Mabinogi and introduced in a lyrical style as soon as the conversation begins. When it comes to character descriptions, some characters have very sensuous and rich introductions, while others are often overly brief. We're refining and selecting words that best capture the character's characteristics and personality, and we're working to ensure all sentences are of similar length. Of course, if we've used expressions that truly fit a character in the existing text, we're working to maintain the original text as much as possible while refining them. We're working hard to create a variety of conversations with these characters, but we need a more immersive device. Mabinogi's diverse characters all have detailed settings. It's a shame that we're the only ones who see these settings as mere planning documents. While organizing simple comments for each character in the 20th anniversary art book, I felt that it would be best to check in these things in game. So yeah, this looks pretty cool. I like the idea of keeping all the characters in Mabinogi unique and Aaron unique. It's nice to have lengthy conversations about certain topics with certain NPCs in the game. And I definitely don't want to feel like any NPC is useless. The NPCs that are the most interesting are the ones that have, like, personality. Okay, there we go. Now we're all set for Mabby. Okay, let's play Mabinogi today. I think I forgot to log in yesterday. Let's help out Leith real quick. We'll get him some of the soft parchment again. Illuminated Cliff. Oh, wasn't that somewhere in Idia? I think I started that like on the weekend or something. I gotta do that 2 more times, so we gotta do like 4 more part-time jobs, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. And we have to help Leith out 1 more time. Alright. Let's see where we're at. How about this? So we can get the 2nd damage skin tomorrow, so I need to gather some firewood, gather some corn, and potatoes. I guess we can do all that in Philia, right? There's some fields out there. Pretty sure I have a gathering axe on me. Get the wood first from all these trees. Okay, 5 more. Okay, that one's done. Okay, corn next, then potatoes. Okay, we might as well complete this daily gathering thing too. Oh, and I still haven't used up any of my near tight for the week, so I better use up those crystals today. Guess those potions expired. Let's go and get rid of all that crap. Not really concerned about leveling right now. Like, until the new Arcana comes out, level ups don't really matter to me. Get some from here. Alright, there it is. Now we need to get potatoes. Okay, that one's complete. So tomorrow we just have to gather berries. That's super easy. Then we'll get the not damaged skin. So I'll probably make a short video on that during tomorrow's stream and show that off, just like I did with the first one. Go and put this back over here. Paper butterflies. Go and put that over here for now. I gotta get rid of some of these pet whistles. Those are taking up a lot of space. When I add them all up, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5 of them. I have a Mer Dragon already. I could actually just give that any random name and sacrifice it, finsync it. Don't care about that. Okay, let's check on my spirit weapon. Max out her bond. Yeah, let's get her some gems. They're not very expensive. And this spirit weapon will eventually be used for my Fury Fighter Arcana, so there's value in investing leveling this up. Let's get her till 64%. Do that, that's it. One more. I don't want to level her up by accident. Okay, then we'll raise that up by 10 more. And tomorrow we'll get her up to 90, and then we'll level her up on Thursday next. If we get around 18 points every 10 levels, then we're looking at 36 by 80. Maybe like 72 points by level 100? Okay. Something like that. And dual guns. Do I need to make repairs soon? Sort of. Staff. Let's see. We're gonna go do some text today, because I have a lot of nearite that I gotta get rid of today and tomorrow. Let's go ahead and repair everything now. Oh, repairs are free right now. That must be part of the event thing that's going on. Cool, so I don't have to pay a penny. I like that. Which bank is that in? The Dumbarton one? Okay, I'm gonna deposit all the gold that I have. Let's go to the Dumbarton area. I want it to be in like that spot. Okay, so I want to put Lolar's stuff in here. So I'm not currently like using that. Helm, gauntlets, and greaves. Okay. And do we have any other things that belong to Lolar? I want to keep that chair. That one's cool. That's not really related to the event, I don't think. No, this was the chair that goes with that. That's one of Rowan's things. Let's put her beauty coupons in here as well. Let's put those over here. Just clear some inventory space. Which bank am I storing that in? In Xanafiedlion's bank? Okay. Cool. Is there anything else I want to drop in there? I don't think so. Yeah, we're good to go. So let's go to the Send Mag and we'll run some text. Oh, and before I do, let's get a Neurite from the Adventure Seal shop too. What's all this? Alban Knight stuff.
좀 쉬었으면 좋겠어.
For the training grounds? I guess. Pet training stuff, I don't really need crap from there.
이 편지는
Alright, off to the Send Mag.
B+.
I'm probably not gonna run all the text today, but I am gonna try and get like 6 or 7 done at least, and then we can finish off the rest of them tomorrow. So we need Spell Walk on and Mana Shield. Oh crap, those speed potions expired. That's too bad. Let's go and destroy those. And let's get some more speed potions from here. Where'd those go off to? I should put these over here so I can remember to use them for my commerce. Okay, let's put these over here. Ball bags. And I'll use the Japari pet buff. Get a speed boost first. Alright, that's clear. I was checking all my skills because I know like Fury Fighter's probably coming up sometime in August. And that's gonna involve like close combat skills and fighter skills. So I was like seeing how many of those skills I had at like the Dan rank, and surprisingly most of them are at like Dan 3. That's good. Melodic Puppeteer is gonna be like Puppetry and Bard. How do my skills look for that? So, music. Well, there aren't really any skills at Dan rank here. And then puppetry, I don't know. Dan 3. I guess there are only 2 skills you can Dan rank here. Okay, yeah, so I guess I am all set as far as ranking those up. Grandmaster at Puppetry, Grandmaster at Barding, Grandmaster at Fighter, Grandmaster Warrior. Yeah, we're all set for those. Alright, I think that's good enough for right now. Let's go over here for a second. And really quick, I will be right back. Alright, so I think that's good enough. We'll run the additional text tomorrow before all that neurite goes away, and then we have a couple of checks. Is that all of them? We got 3 of those fragments. Nothing went over here, right? Good. And then let's put these in here. Okay, 150k for those. Perfect. Okay, let's go find out what the vet dungeon is today. I'll probably run that too. Is there anything I can do with my tech skills? So I don't want to do anything with those. Zone of renewal. Oh, what about you? Get Fate Weaver up to level 10. That's very nice. Okay, Blunting Field, Fate Weaver, Zone of Renewal. What about Unified Might? Let's take that up. One more level to go. All the red skills are level 10. Okay, Fiat Dungeon. I still have time to decide what I want to do with this. Let's go and switch to Arsenal Gunner. Don't need that active anymore, and we don't need Mana Shield active anymore. Let's pull up the status list. And time for the boss. Okay, let's do this. Use that. Lock on. Crap, I missed with the ice dragon. Although I did still get him with most of that attack, so I guess that's a plus. Okay. Lock on. Got him. "17 minutes and 43 seconds. Strength fragments, spirit gems, opal. Okay, that's good. Let's get out of here. Alright, I do need to do 2 part-time jobs. I guess we'll do that. Let's put that over here. I guess we can do some commerce in the middle. Let's switch back to Dark Diviner for that. Okay, let's go to Dumbarton, see if I can pick up any part-time jobs before it's too late. It's only like 5:30 in game, so maybe I have some time. Maybe I can squeeze in at least one. Okay, so we have to go to Area, Walter, and Simon. Sure. Let's put that way over there. Let's go to Walter next. And Simon's pretty close by too. And we go back. Oh, we have to return them to the bookshelves. Okay. Let's just stay a cat. Because that's one of the buildings we can remain transformed in. I realized this was one of the longer part-time jobs. So art and literature, specialties, history. Okay, art and literature, here we go. Come on. Professional. So that'd be over on this side. That'd be the one way over here. Wait a minute. Self-improvement. Professional books, where's that one at? That's specialties. Okay, specialties is the one. It should just say that then, it shouldn't say, like, this one. Because that's not accurate, that's not the name of the bookshelf. Humanities and philosophy. Yeah, it's all of them. I think we have to go back to Stuart then, because he's the one that gave us the part-time job. Report now. There's one. I wonder if I can get like one more. Probably not, right? Wait a minute, deliver that to Nereus? Sure. Oh good, I have just enough time to finish that. That's great. And then back to Glennis. Report now. And that's good. How many more times do I have to do that event crap? One more time. What's this required thing? Talk to Ronald and Turconil. I'm not using auto-pathing. Forget that. But let's go see him so I can get rid of that required quest. Okay. Alright. Noise, show me all this crap. Okay, Lorna in your Albi dungeon. Do I have to like use that pass and get to her, or can I just talk to her outside of it? Okay, so we actually have to use that pass that we got. Oh wait, no, here she is. Perfect. Yeah, I already know about all scrap. Kind of funny how they're giving me required quests about like Albi Basic and stuff like that, when they're basically trying to force everyone into veteran dungeons and above. Okay, so where's that pass at? Is that my me inventory? No? Here it is. Okay, it's pretty short. We'll use Dark Diviner here. Oh, right. I'm not in that Arcana. Oh, wait, yeah, I am. I just have the wrong skill set. Perfect. Let's run through this real quick. Won't take any time at all. And time for the boss. Okay, where's the growth guide icon here? You can access the growth guide from the second left icon on the taskbar. Hang on. I can't see anything down there. Under the guides icon. Well, this is inefficient. Wonderful. I can't get to the growth guide icon from here. Come on, there has to be some button that does something. What about hotkey? Can I give like a hotkey to the growth guide or something so I can get this thing to open? Let's see if the growth guide has one. Dressing room. Oh, backspace? Or back. Oh wait a minute, here we go. Growth guide. This one doesn't have one. I can give this a hotkey so we can open it. What should I give it? Shift C is for spirit weapons, Shift V is for VIP stuff, and Shift G is for guide, like dungeon guide. Let's just give it Shift B. It is? Oh, that's one of my equipment slots. Okay. How about Shift N then? Or... yeah, we'll do that. Apply. Now I can open that up and actually access that, because I couldn't actually access it by clicking it the way Lorna wanted me to. Oh yeah, and there's a button right down there, which wasn't showing up earlier. Okay, I'm clicking anywhere. Why can't I oh, okay, if we have to click on there. So you can't click anywhere to continue. This guide is faulty. Jeez, how many of these required quests do I can waste my time with? We'll clear more of them later. Alright, I think we're gonna wrap things up a little early today. We'll do some commerce tomorrow, probably. Do a little bit more then. So we're gonna wrap up the Mabby stream right around here for today, and in about 2 hours or so, we're going to play Star Force, Mega Man Star Force. I'm gonna continue working on that game a little bit tonight. So Mabinogi tomorrow.